Sutra 35. Tattu Vishaya Tyagat Sanga Tyagat Cha. Devotion is attained through renunciation of objects of sense pleasure, as well as attachments to them. The essence of the meaning of this aphorism can be illustrated by the story of a man who made the journey to visit a holy place. On his travels, he met a holy man who asked him to make an offering to please the Lord. The pilgrim thought about promising to give up the following food items: dairy products, vegetables, or fruit. After some thought, he realized that he was unable to give up dairy products or any vegetable because he enjoyed eating these items, and he felt that giving them up would cause him inconvenience, especially whilst eating out. Although the pilgrim was fond of certain fruits, he decided to forfeit jackfruit only because he disliked the fruit and did not personally consume it, nor was he likely to eat it in the future. He chose to forsake what he already had an aversion to. But this aphorism encourages the aspirant to forego and give up objects that can arouse his senses and disconnect him from the Lord. When the heart is not clean, devotion cannot reside there. Generally, people either take shelter in what is advantageous for them or what gives them enjoyment. But the wise can understand the difference and always choose what is good for them. The foolish pursue what they like and what they do not have, whether it is good for them or bad. People have their own needs, yet it is possible to live if one does not acquire what one wants and likes. One who understands the true meaning and goal of life should accept only as much wealth and goods as are needed for one's survival, because excess and destitution both distract one from one's goal. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 1.2.108. Those who cannot give up worldly pleasures argue that these desires are a necessary prelude to renunciation, because only complete enjoyment of the desire will lead to satisfaction. In response, the Mahabharata states, "Indulgence never quenches desire but rather inflames it, just as oil poured on fire inflames it and does not put it out." King Bharat, who renounced his own family to advance in his spiritual life, became attracted to an injured baby deer whilst he nursed it back to health. This diverted him from his spiritual progress. In this way, his heart was agitated by a multitude of desires. Due to the reactions of his past life's actions, he lost his practice and was distracted from the Lord's worship. He became so attached to the fawn that he forgot his own true nature. Srimad Bhagavatam 5.8.26. All the material objects of this earth are not enough to satisfy a greedy man. Hence, Sage Narad advises that renunciation from attachment to such objects is just as compulsory as giving up the object itself. This point is highlighted in the following tale. After listening to the pastimes of the Lord from a realized soul, a wealthy man told his family that he was taking renunciation. He left his house, family, relatives, and wealth, and took the shelter of a forest. Whilst taking a stroll on a moonlit night, he noticed an object glistening on the ground. At first he thought it must be a pearl or an expensive gem. The man felt an impulse to grab it. When he touched it, he realized it was not a gem or a pearl, but human mucus shimmering in the moonlight. He felt awful, and he realized that if a drop of mucus created desire within him, he was not ready for complete renunciation. True renunciation is one where the renunciant has both physical and mental detachment from the object. To enjoy the taste of genuine devotion, dispassion for material objects is necessary. When there is renunciation in the mind, there is no incentive for enjoyment, and external renunciation, or giving up the possession of an object, follows naturally. External renunciation is helpful in the early stages of devotion, whilst internal renunciation is essential at all times. Where complete renunciation is not possible due to extenuating circumstances, one should at least practice mental renunciation and try to remain free from attachment to one's belongings. Thus, a mind free from the distractions of worldly objects and attachments to them becomes a receptacle for the love of the Lord. Therefore, Sage Narad states that the practice of both mental and physical renunciation is a necessity on the path of devotion.